Great, thank you. So my name is Parth Savla, and I'm here in the role of our Director of Million Mask Movement at Ever Forward Club. We have been a nonprofit for about 21 years, working in the mental health space and social emotional learning space. Our work is really focused on the emotional well-being of young men, and particularly the age range of grades 6 through 12. And so this year we have this amazing campaign, which I'll go a little bit into depth, called the Global Young Men's Conference. That has a couple of different components to it. And so today is our third monthly call. So I just wanted to say welcome. And then we'll do some brief, light, kind of casual introductions, and then we'll go through kind of our agenda for today. So, Ro, do you want to say a little bit about yourself as well? And then you can pass it over to Chris.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Hey, I'm Ro. I I work social media and digital marketing here at the Ever Forward Club. I'm from San Jose, California. So yeah, so home to the Bay. And yeah, it's been definitely throughout this whole experience, especially with planning and executing the Global Young Men's Conference. I'm definitely excited for a couple next weeks ahead until we get to November 8th. In particularly because especially over the past month or two, it's been very interesting seeing the variety of partners that we have and what connection they have to the young men in their community. So it's really interesting, really sharing and highlighting their stories as I'm on the more digital marketing side of things. I'm definitely very excited to see you all in terms of what you share in terms of activities and gatherings that you have with your community. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. Definitely a lot of excitement that I have and some good anticipation. Definitely looking forward.
Perfect. Thank you, Ron. Before we pass it over to Chris, I see we have a couple more friends who've joined us. So welcome, Kiana. Welcome, Jerry. If you'd like to just in the Zoom chat, share your name, where you're from. We're just doing a quick round of casual introductions, and then we'll go into the presentation. So with that, Chris, to you.
Yes, my name is Chris. I most recently worked at a school in Salinas, Catholic high school, and am continuing to be engaged and interested in all the things that Shanti is doing with all of his work. Yeah, that's about me.
Terrific. Thank you, Chris. Welcome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for following Ashanti's work. You're welcome to just pick a screen. You can pick one of the boxes that has a name. Since we have a small group, go for it.
We'll go with Kiana.
Hi. Oh, sorry. Totally backlit. Hi, everyone. Are we just doing introductions right now? Well, hi, everyone. My name is Kiana. I am with the organization Rite of Passage Journeys. There you go. You can see my face now. Which is based in Bothell or Seattle area in Washington. But I'm currently down in Southern California visiting family. So, yeah. Anything else for the introductions?
No, that's all. And we're gonna, we had a lovely opportunity to meet West from Rites of Passage as well. She was on the call last month. So they were on the call last month. So it was really wonderful to connect with them. And so thank you for being here today. And then you're welcome to pass it over to, I think our last person here is Jerry.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you all. Yeah, Jerry.
Hi, everybody. Jerry here. I'm Jerry Javel. I'm the marketing manager for Ryan Bartel Foundation. We're a little bit late to the game. Um, we, I don't remember when the email came through. It was probably in September. So it's my first meeting. Ryan Bartel Foundation is an upstream suicide prevention, teen suicide prevention um, uh, provider where we're not a therapeutic or crisis intervention. We are providing programs that help kids develop coping skills and resilience and connection because those are the biggest prevention uh, preventative measures for youth suicide. So I'm supposed to be joined by Lacey Rosenbaum, who's our program director. She's leading the charge, but I wanted to listen in to see what we could learn on the fly. We're a small organization. We're only like 5 people, so yeah, we have to we have to constantly sprint whatever we do.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jerry. Yes, I had a wonderful conversation with Lacey, and she had actually, I think, been on our last call, and we totally understand. We're a lean team of about two full-timers, and then a number of us who are part-timers as well. So you're in a great place. What we're going to go over today is actually some very low-hanging fruit event ideas that you can implement with any size group of young men within your community. So we're going to go over that today as well. Wonderful, everyone. So let's dive in. I'm gonna pull open. And real quick, I'm gonna make you the co-host as we see some new friends popping in as well. So let me make you the co-host first, and then I'll share my screen. Okay, terrific. So hopefully everyone can see my screen, right? I'm gonna rely on you. Yep, great. I got a head nod there. Terrific. Wonderful. So welcome to our Ever Forward Club's Global Young Men's Conference. Today on our call, we're going to cover welcome. I think some of us have already introduced ourselves. We're going to go over our global momentum update. What's been working? We've had a number of really wonderful partners create events already. So we'll have an opportunity to share best practices, the GYMC kind of experience workflow. We're going to go through a toolkit. This is great for those of us who have lean teams and I really want to bring together a gathering of young men, but we're like, how do we, someone give me a template, give me these 3 steps I can do. And that's what today's call is about. We're also going to be highlighting some partners. We've had one partner already have an amazing event in South Africa. Hopefully he'll join us. It is about 3 a.m. Their time. And so hopefully you can join us and share a little bit about their experience. And then also how another partner, one of our partners, Squires, is they work in the foster youth space. And so an event that they're putting together as well. So we can see kind of how that looks like. And then lastly, we'll go over a collaboration. We'll just do a free kind of small intimate group sharing. Hey, what's working in your community? What challenges are you facing? What are some other resources that we can provide you? Pretty much everyone in this network has a solution to the problem you're dealing with, you know? And so one of our biggest aims is to really help accelerate everyone's participation because we realize that, hey, if we just put all of you together, you know, and be able to resource share, all of us can grow a lot faster, right? And then the last will be kind of next steps and countdown. Okay, so welcome and purpose. So welcome everyone to our third monthly partner call. The Global Young Men's Conference is Ever Forward Club's global campaign to support young men around the world take off their emotional masks and feel seen, heard, and supported. I think many of you are experiencing, we're seeing all around the world. I think there was another school shooting that just occurred. The rates of violence that are happening, the frequency is increasing all around, not just the United States, but also around the world for various reasons. We're going through a really tough time. And so, for those of us who have this special place in our hearts and want to really empower and support the young men in our community, that's really what the aim of this Global Young Men's Conference is about. Our vision is to fulfill this vision, rather, by inviting partners such as yourselves, who are just amazing advocates for young men in your communities and people and youth in general, who are to host local events for those folks in your community, but then also more so, really don't look at this as just a crescendo. We wanted to create this experience, this network, this event as a way to let all of you know, it's kind of like the light tower, right? Where here, I'm here, I'm doing this work, but we're all doing it kind of in silos. And so how do we bring everyone together? And as we even gear up towards next year, May is a mental health awareness month, June is Men's Health Month. We can begin to develop these longer term partnerships and relationships and collaborations with all of us as well. And then in a concrete level or locally, we are hosting our second annual Young Men's Conference in Oakland on November 8th, the second Saturday of November. Our vision is to gather 200 young men, grades 6 through 12, all across the Bay Area. We nearly have 90 young men registered so far. This is it's pretty amazing. Last year we had 51 young men, and it was the first time we were doing a lot of things. We made a lot of mistakes. We figured out we should have started way early with certain things. Some of the experienced community organizers probably know that, and so what our aim here is to, in a small segment of today's presentation, is to share with you everything we've learned. And the incentives and the ways that we've kind of gotten around enlisting and inspiring young men to attend. So I want to share all that with you. A little bit of background. Last November 2024 is when we held our first Young Men's Conference, as I mentioned, with 51 young men. In June of this year is when we launched this campaign. August, we had our first global partner call. And then we really thought about, what does it mean to be a partner, right? I think many of us have been exposed to various platforms where there's some kind of payment fee, or there's some kind of pay to play situation. And we said, we don't want any of that. How do we just create a space where we can bring everyone together and highlight all of you, even on our website? So that was the first partner call. Then in September, we had the second partner call. Third, here we are today. And then in terms of moving forward, we have partner events the end of October till probably the middle of November-ish. We have our in-person call event on the 18th, and then we'll have our last partner celebration call on the 19th of November. Okay, great. Let's go into global momentum and what's working. So all of you should be listed on our partner page. If you have not, please let me know. We'll get that sorted right away. It basically has, I'm just going to switch my screen briefly. We have 30 partners so far. The majority of folks, actually, very interestingly enough, I think now we have 32, 27 to 28 of them are within the United States, which is pretty amazing, from all around the United States. So again, just so you all know who's in the room. So there's a partner list. This is currently what it looks like. If you haven't seen this already, you have your organization name, a little brief description, and then your logo. And when you click on it, it takes you to your website. We would also love any ideas you all might have of how to make this a little bit more dynamic. We were thinking about including people's contact informations here, social media handles, during the next revision of this, just to make it lot more kind of interactive, and you can then connect with other partners. So all ideas are welcome, but that is the partner page.
Can you put that link in the chat box if you haven't done so yet?
Absolutely. Ro, would you mind putting the link in the ch Zoom chat there as
Yeah, for
well?
sure. I got it.
Thank you. Okay. And then we have a few short clips from partners currently who have for a long period of time. So we'd love to have them share their stories. Each of these clips are about 30 seconds to about 2 minutes. Our first partner is Adil. He is the president of BABA, that's a fatherhood organization in Denmark. And so they have done actually one of the events that we'll review a little bit later in the call is creating a soccer game. And so that was adopted from one of his ideas that he did.
Hi, my name is Adil. I'm from Denmark, Copenhagen, and a daily leader of two social initiatives called Baba and Fathers Important. Both initiatives are a part of the Danish NGO, the Foundation of Social Responsibility. The Million Mask movement is certainly the mass exercise is an important part of the way we work, with new fathers, young males, because it allows them to speak about fatherhood, the wonderful aspect of it, the vulnerable aspects of it in a very constructive and insightful way. It even allows the facilitator to gain insight on him or herself. So consider this a very warm invitation to join the Million Mask movement and take up this exercise and work which allows young men to put words on their vulnerabilities in a very constructive way. We all talk about the male crisis. Many people think the future looks very dark, but I really believe conversations, an important conversation, facilitators can make a huge difference by insisting on having these difficult conversation and vulnerable conversation with young males. Warm regards from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Just put myself on mute there. Just wanted to lift up all of the artistry, the graphics that was done by Ro and his team. So if even if we understand what it's like to be a strappy nonprofit, and we're just all about resource sharing. So at any point, even if you want to create a pitch video of an event that you're creating or anything like that, send it to send it our way. We can make it look really nice and then invite you as a collaborator, post it or send it back to you and you originally post it and invite us or tag us. Like we're here to just support you in any way that we can. So just wanted to lift that up. One quick thing before I move on to the next video is our signature activity is called Taking Off the Mask. That's a little index card, one picture, 3 words. Artistic, some symbolic representation of the emotional mask that a person might be experiencing in that moment. And then what are 3 qualities or either 3 words or 3 phrases of how we want to present to the world? What's in front of our emotional mask? This is an anonymous activity. And then what are the 3 words or qualities of what's really going on behind the mask? What is the real stuff that individual is experiencing? And on the bottom is a optional question, city, state, and gender. It's a very simple, and we have a soft copy file, a PDF of this. So this serves as a really great icebreaker. Again, sometimes folks might be thinking, okay, I have a group, but what am I going to do? I need something low lift activity for an hour. So this becomes a fantastic icebreaker. And by participating in the Million Mask movement, you help us reach our goal of 100,000 folks participating in this activity of self-reflection. We have now reached, I think we just crossed 88,000 across about 100 countries. And so our goal is to reach how do we have this seed of a brief exercise of self-reflection be planted in 100,000 people. So, and we'll give you all those tools too. We'll review that in a moment. And this is a video from Lee Bohong. Unfortunately, he is not able to join us, but this is great because you'll be able to hear from him and then also see an example. They just recently had a workshop October 4th at an event in South Africa and kind of, yeah, learn from his example. So this is Lee.
Hello, my dear friends. I hope you guys are good and that you are doing well. My name is Leboham Mwafili. I am based in South Africa, this beautiful, beautiful country of the great Nelson Mandela. I'm running an organization here called G2G Transformation and Mentoring Institute. What we do in this organization, we're reaching out to the boy child. We're helping the boy child transition from boyhood to manhood. How do we do that? We do that by having programs such as character development, personal development, and then we do this via different intervention programs such as workshops, such as seminars, such as one-on-one mentoring and coaching, such as group coaching, and many other diverse intervention programs. And what has made this to be even more possible is when we understood that we are not the only one that are doing this. We got introduced to Ever Forward Club, we got to be introduced to Million Mask Movement. And ever since we partnered with Ever Forward Club and Million Mask Movement, I am telling you, we have been empowered to make sure that we reach out to as many young men as we can. We have been partnered with this organization. In fact, we have received tools that are helping us to be even more effective, even more impactful. Young men, please come on board. There's so much to do. You can come and partner with us, come and partner with Ever Forward Club, come and partner with Million Mass Movement. I'm telling you, you will not regret. I am so looking forward to seeing you in our next call, being part of this partnership. I'm telling you, it will help you to make such a great difference in your locality, wherever you are. Thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to seeing you. God bless you. Peace.
Love seeing Lebo, brother Lebo's work. It always puts a smile on my face. I'm going to share one more from actually two more brief clips. I'm going to do Vladimir first, and then Valentin, who's a 17-year-old who brought that work to his area of Mexico. Let's listen.
My name is Vladimir Pugac. I'm from Belgrade, Serbia. I teach and work with young people every day. I know how much pressure many of them carry behind the mask. As a partner in the Million Mask Movement, I have seen what happens when young men take the mask off. I see relief, connection, and healing. This November, the Global Youth Bank Conference will bring us together from all over the world. I want to challenge you to host a young man event where you live, because our boys and young men need space to breathe, connect. We are going for 100,000 men and 300 even before November 8th. Let's go.
And what was amazing about Vladimir's story, so we've been working with Vladimir he's a high school teacher actually in Serbia, has a passion for young men in his community. Last year, if some of you may have been following, there was a lot of protests happening in Serbia. And so, and they're going through a bit of a kind of really like a gang problem and slight drug problem with the young men in that community. And so Vladimir had this passion. He said, I wanted to create events. I don't really know where to start. Can you help me? So we said, yes, absolutely. So through a series of calls, and even some mock conversations, we have an activity guide and how you can even lead a workshop in your community. And part of that activity guide is crafting your own personal share to be able to really connect with the young men or young people who are in your workshops. And so we role played. So within 2 to 3 calls of an hour and a half each, where we role played those conversations and said, wow, this looks great. That share was so tight. Can you dig into a little bit more here? This is how it landed for me. He was ready to go. And then he's led several workshops there in Serbia with groups of anywhere from 20 to about 60 co-ed. I think some of them have been only young men, but others have just been young people in general. This is Valentin's.
Ahora les contaré cómo ha sido mi experiencia trabajando con un colaborador.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There we go.
Ahora les contaré cómo ha sido mi experiencia trabajando con un colaborador global de Million Mass Movement. Todo inició en tercero de secundaria, cuando yo invité a unos amigos a que participaran a dibujar sus máscaras. Hola, Shakti. El primer día cuando hice lo de las 1000 máscaras, le pregunté a algunos compañeros de mi escuela y todos me dijeron que no, hasta que fui al siguiente día y entonces me dijeron que sí. Pude hacer 12 máscaras. Realmente en ese momento yo sentía que estaba haciendo algo grande. Cuando entré a la preparatoria, exactamente en segundo semestre, inicié a hacer otra actividad, pero ahora lo quise hacer un poco más grande. Con la ayuda de dos amigos, hicimos la actividad en el salón. Hicimos 27 máscaras. En este último año, en el cuarto grado, fuimos a una secundaria a realizar esta actividad, pero más grande. Teníamos que salonear toda una secundaria. Fue algo impresionante, la verdad, fue una experiencia increíble. Recolectamos 198 máscaras de todos los jóvenes de que estaban ahí en la secundaria.
So that's a beautiful example of a young man who is with us, as you can tell from his time machine there. He's been with us since he was, I think, 12 or 13. And so, also, if you have young people in your communities that want to lead, that, hey, I want to do something, what can we do? We have tools for them as well. We've worked in the middle school space, the high school space. So we have a number of resources that are tailored for that age range. And then the second piece is, if you need anything printed, now we've got all these, between ChatGPT and all these other AI co-pilots, like we can whip something up in a different language for you very quickly. So any support that you need, we're here for you. We've translated some of our materials into German, Spanish, of course, Hindi, and a number of other languages. Um, Moving to kind of going back to Libo's success, Libo Hong's success. So they had a conference October 4th, and I just put some screenshots here of some images. I'll just read out a post wrote rather. We really had one of the Boys to Men conferences. We had empowering conversations, boys taking off the mask, playing and having fun in the process, very engaging gathering. This group of boys can really express themselves, and I think this is what we wanted to achieve, speaking openly about what they are feeling. Great talk from Bhuti Hlongwane. I'm so terrible with names. Taking us on a spiritual journey. MME, touching on health talk. And I shared some thoughts as well, but my excitement really came from the engagement with the boys. We are touching lives from as far as Bashaf. When a father chooses to drive for such a distance to bring his boys to this conference is really humbling. Father driving their boys and remaining to support their boys and this conference is something I admired, and I honor all of them for such a commitment to the well-being of their sons. I'm humbled. Boys to Men Conference 2025 was a successful one. Michael Nangwadi, Kele Boile, G. Yabalaba. Again, I'm terrible with names. Please forgive me. Thank you for my brothers and MME Moruti Ika Nange Kela Laboha Aholo for accommodating us and the hospitality. And then a closing statement. So it's beautiful. The activity that they did, actually, we have a version of this taking off the mask activity where you can have printouts and the young men will do their work. And then we say, crumple it up. And we actually have a snowball fight. So they actually crumple it up, they throw it at each other, right? To kind of get into the sense of, hey, we have these masks, but they're also flexible. We're not stuck by them. Then from there, that becomes a nice icebreaker to then have them kind of flatten out those mask sheets and then see what the group sharing is within that group. So there's a lot of really fun ways, and that's what he did. And then he took pictures of each of those masks. That's our only ask, and he sent it to us. Or I'd rather he uploaded it to a Google Drive, and then that helps us increase our mask count. That's it. So this is probably, I think, the fourth event that he has had. Next is a partner event that's upcoming is Squires. I think Sean is not with us today, but they are based out of Oregon, and they are having a huge event on the November 22nd. And again, what was so beautiful is he was able to just bring a lot of different organizations to the table, where he realized, hey, I don't have to do it all. I said, hey, what's your vision? And then we had a couple of calls, and here's the event that they're creating. So it could be at any level. Any level. Okay. So now going through the partner toolkit, let me pause here for a moment, and I'm doing a lot of talking. I'd love to just take 30 seconds to hear any to pause for any questions, any reflections, anything newly that might be opening up for people as you're seeing different examples, anything that anybody would like to share. Oh, Sean, you are on. I just saw the pictures. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Sean, before we move on, would you like to, sorry, I just noticed that you're on there. Would you like to share a little bit about your event and how you came to create it and your process?
Um, sure. Honestly, this event is something that we host every year already. And I'm always looking for new ways to do things. And I saw this and I was like, this is be a great opportunity because I work with teen and young fathers, and young fathers. I mean, these are co-occurring events: becoming a father and adolescent young man. And so, how do we? Um, we're always looking at ways to make those work in unison together. And also, years ago, when The Mass That You Live In, the movie came out, I actually hosted an event with a screening of this movie we called it Unmasked, and we actually purchased masks and had them write it, and I have a photo where we took it and all this stuff. So I just thought it was a great opportunity, full circle moment, because that was like 12, 13 years ago that we did it. And then I reached out to some of my local organizations that I partner with in different ways, and like, hey, what can you provide for this event? We have a pretty large grant that, so we are actually gonna, we give the dads $100 gift card for this. We bring somebody from child support come out. We don't actually advertise that because the dads get a little bit freaked out that, oh, child support's going to be there. So we have child support there, but that's just to answer questions. But yeah, this is something we do every year, and it just fits so well with what we already do to just the open up dialogue. We did, like I said, we did the mass thing like 12, 13 years ago. And I was so shocked at how willing and available these young men were to just to do the process. And the only tip that I would really give is as far as the event itself is make sure that you have, your tribal elders in there, men that are willing to be vulnerable as well, and kind of share their stories. I hope that's what you were looking for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. And again, just another great example, another way, if you have an existing event, you're welcome to integrate, some of our programming into that event and be part of our global conference. So there's a lot of different ways that participation can be had. Thank you, Sean. Um, okay, so the experience workflow. So what I wanted to share with everyone is we just completed our toolkit and updated our toolkit. So wanted to kind of hop over there and share that as a resource for everyone. So if you go to our website, under Get Involved, you'll see our partner toolkit page. Okay, terrific. So here are the main thing that I'd love to share with all of you is here, download toolkit PDF. So there are a number of different activities, different events, different event ideas that can be, scaled for any group of young men, it could be 2+. But the moment you click on download toolkit PDF, you'll have a list of all of our different activities. Um, So you're welcome to print this out, download this level. You can click on, oops, you can click on down to that particular event. Each event is broken down with a theme and a purpose. What are the benefits for the young men that are participating? Again, group size is any size group will work. Simply scale the time based on the group size. A very brief materials list, and then a step by step. we've even provided a host script you can share, and then what every component, can be. And then there's some optional add-ons if you'd like to bring additional materials or to add other components. And then as I mentioned, the mask card. So you can click on the download mask card, and that should have it. You can then just download the PDF version of that, or you can make masks digitally online at millionmask.org dashboard. So we go to millionmask.org. Oh, actually, great. This kind of fast forwarded me to a tool that is a really great reporting tool for all of you. So when you correctly there is you can then actually create your own educator portal or organizational portal account, which is really, I think I may have to lock out. But when you create your own portal, it says on the bottom left, it'll say sign up. And then when you create various events, you can then have different codes, which are then shared with people, to folks within your group who you want to participate and have do their mask digitally online. So you can have different codes for different groups, which is really cool. And then it'll populate a word cloud and a word count, right? And then if you have, let's say, an educator account, and let's say you do a physical event, and say, you know what, all we could do is the physical part of it. Just send us the cards. We'll digitize it for you, and then we'll make sure that your data here on the back end is accurate. This is fantastic for decision makers because when you want to see what is the correlative property between in front of the mask experiences and behind the mask experiences, it becomes quite apparent, what a lot of the young men might be going through. So there's that piece. Toolkit. Just a last little piece on the toolkit part. Again, just to reiterate, these are very low hanging fruit ideas. All right, so we wanted to make this very easy. As you can peruse very simply, you'll see it could range from a walk and talk to a very small soccer game to different circles of young men coming together or young people in general, to be honest. Talking about various topics. We have even put a couple of things in for civic engagement, community problem solving lab. Can come up with have a couple of ideas around events within the community that you can do, different hiking events, game night. I believe when I spoke with West from Rites of Passage, they were considering doing a game night, but I don't know if that's still the case. Um, but these are the different idea events. Okay, great. Okay, great. We also wanted to take an opportunity to share with all of you where we are. Oh, terrific. I see, Kiana, you're going to do a short hike, food, and talking circle. Beautiful, wonderful. Feel free to share with us in the Zoom chat or or via email too, like when you're considering it, so then we can, and the last piece of this presentation will be how we can tag each other on social media and help each other spread the word. So that's fantastic. So I wanted to have us share with you our vision for our in-person event. Just so you could see what that could look like. Oh, that's testimonial from somebody. Inspire and help young. Oop. Okay, so these are two testimonials. We're just going to listen to one of them of last year's conference, and then what we have in store for this year's conference. Just so again, another example of what a conference creation can look like. So let's hear from Edwin.
Man, today was a vision for me to kind of realize what similar things that I want to create one day. I want to be able to just help young men persevere, reach their dreams, and reach their full potential. I believe that as a man, you have a difficult life. You will have a difficult life, and by doing that, you need a support system. And I just want to create that for young men like me. it was a big vision for me because I was able to be here, surround myself with a lot of people like-minded like me, and it created like a vision of like this is something that I would create like an event, and this was a big event that I came by myself. No, none of my friends or none of classmates I have at school came along. I decided to come along. I wasn't scared. I wasn't afraid. I would like to connect. I like to socialize, so that wasn't a problem for me. And yeah, I mean, this event was special, and I want to create an event similar to this. I'm not afraid to like put myself in situations like this. I learned this through programs in my school as well, where I just step out my comfort zone, and this was definitely like another step to like mastering that skill and ability of stepping out my comfort zone. And yeah, I mean, I'm here. I wasn't afraid. I made connections, talked to the adults, made a few friends, and I'm glad I'm here. There was no regret in doing this. I feel proud. I feel happy to be here. This event has definitely changed the way I think about certain things. I definitely have more confidence in myself and my capabilities and the way I look at the perspective of life. Join the brotherhood community.
And this one is what we're about to see next is a really great example of a father and son that attended. So one of the things that we've also noticed is what a great experience in an in-person event, in addition to the young men coming, if their father or their mother would like to volunteer or mentor during the event, what a wonderful shared experience that they have, together that they can then deepen, even after the event. So let's hear from Dream.
My son and the rest of the young men in our program is vulnerability, to be able to show who you are and really be able to like not be scared about what everybody else thinks about you or says about you, just be who you are, who you truly authentic are. And I think that today was a great experience for our boys to really get them to understand who they are and how they grow to be men and men that they really want to be in the future. Something I learned about myself is patience, is to allow my young men to be able to be taught by somebody else and not get frustrated with them because they're not listening and playing around. So it's good to learn patience and just to sit there and let them enjoy themselves and have a good time.
I learned that like there's always room for just like like a lesson to come into your life for you to live by it. There's always different lessons that you can live by. And I feel like I asked questions that got me better as a man, that got me better as a young man, that can really help me in the future because I learned that life is really tough and like there's great things that like you can take and that really can help your life.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, friends, experiencing some internet issues.
I try to teach. It's good to learn patience.
I feel like I asked questions that got me better as a man, that got me better as a young man, that can really help me in the future because I learned that life is really tough and like there's great things that like you can take and that really can help your life. It helps you when you have the ability to keep going and doing what you like want to do without struggles.
Continue to grow, listen. Everything is not always playing. Sometimes it's about focusing and learning and getting better.
I had a great experience here, and just like when I'm having fun,
Join the brotherhood community.
Join the brotherhood community. To be able to inspire and help.
Perfect. And so I'll share a few words just about our conference coming up. I am looking at the time, and then we want to make sure we have enough time for Q&A. So just a quick walkthrough of our in-person event. So this is a little bit of our schedule of the event that we will be having on November 8th. These are just quick spotlight on the speakers. One of the things that we really wanted to do is to have it be the programming be youth informed and youth led. So we have a number of young men who are part of our youth advisory council, and they actually let us know what types of speakers they would like to have. And so that was a process. We actually have Ashanti on the call with us right now. Ashanti, would you like to share a little bit, about, of course, anything, but also, the programming, just of this year's conference and how, what we did to like really bring in youth voices and have it be stirred by them.
Yeah, Folks, I'm so glad you're here. I hear parts. My big heart is trying to make sure that we hear from the partners here. And so, folks, we have put a lot of time into building the conference, and our big picture is, and that's why Ro is here. We want to highlight your work, and the vision is that hopefully, between now, this year's conference, and next year's conference, we will find a partner who will partner with us so that we can, in the future, offer some resources for you all to do the events you're going to do in your communities. That's one of the things that we're really hoping for. So, what we're trying to do local is get the young people right here in our backyard at that live event. But for you, I want to make sure that we get your questions answered because, for us, some of you are doing it later in November and some of you are doing it earlier in November. I want to make sure that we're here to answer any of your questions. So, you see these three speakers, they are local here in the Bay Area. And so they are going to come and do some of their work. And the workshops or activities that are going to happen are going to be, some of the ones you all are doing. Some of them are going to be fitness related, some are going to be fun related, art related. We're just trying to like make it comprehensive. We have, I think we're Parth gave you some of the numbers, but what we're excited about is you because you are reaching young men that we would probably never be able to meet. So thank you for the work you're doing. I want to make sure I'm here to answer any of your questions. So that's all I'll say about the live event, the local event here in the Bay. I want to make sure that we're here to get you ready, fired up for the thing you're going to do in your community. So thank you for the opportunity. I'm complete.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shanti. Um, and so this is just a little bit about what our in-person event will look like in terms of scheduling. Again, we'll share this with you, but we just want to give you examples. I think some of the feedback I've received from other partners via email is, do you have any examples? People like to see concrete things, so just wanted to share this with you. And then one of the things, again, just as another strategy, tool, tactic, whichever word we want to use, is we came up with ideas for incentives for the young men. Last year we learned, if any of you've put together, right, a lot of physical events, in-person events, it's like, how do we actually provide and incentivize participation? So this is an example of something that we've done this year for that. Okay, terrific. So there's a great lead into just collaboration and resource swap slash Q&A. So maybe let's open up the kind of conversation. I'll stop screen sharing. What questions do folks have? Or would folks like to share any experiences that they've come through so far, best practices, challenges? Anything for us?
Well, I will just jump in. I know I joined a little bit late. Dr. Lacey Rosenbaum, my colleague here, is here with us. Jerry might have introduced kind of our program at the beginning, but we're excited. We are based in Northern Virginia, just out of the DC area. We do a lot of events for young people. We haven't really focused on young men specifically before, but our work all kind of centers around mental health promotion. And so we're planning an event November 8th. We have one of our facilitators is a former professional soccer coach and plans to kind of bring in some fun soccer drills and really just have like a nice interactive component. We have a community center reserved with some great space. And then we'll kind of break into smaller groups for the mask making activity and smaller discussions. We're trying to get some partners for food and other fun things, but we're really, really excited about it. And yeah, Jerry's been really instrumental helping us think about the marketing components. We just want to make sure we can kind of get the word out in our community. So thanks for hosting this call.
Terrific. That's exciting and so inspiring. Thank you.
I, as someone who does annual events every year for youth, uh, I don't know if you guys saw on the flyer that we showed earlier, but you'll notice that we made it. There's like a Oregon Duck stash UFC kind of style to it. Like we just really tapped into stuff that in our neighborhood, like what kids are into, you know. So instead of Teen Father Workshop, it's TFW, and we have the number behind it. And the first two workshops that we ever did, we called out the words Teen Father Workshop. And we were getting like 8 to 9 dads to show up. And the year that we changed it to TFW, we tripled that number. We had 30 people register and 21 of them show up. Um, And then the other thing I would say is when we did our unmasked event years ago, I kind of like Lacey said, we found a local celebrity. We got Latinberry to come and do a little talk. And so if you can find somebody that's a little bit of a draw, especially in the like a professional soccer player, or football player, whatever, you know, something that I would use the term embraces testosterone. Um, I would highly encourage using that if you have that access to that.
Mm, yeah.
Those are some great points. We noticed that too when it comes to trying to have speakers for our event. We had to find social media content creators and the folks who actually resonated with the our audience. Anyone else would love to hear your thoughts. Again, best practices, any challenges you're going through, you're experiencing, any support that you'd like. Ro, I see two messages here on the Zoom chat. Ro asked, does anyone have any questions around activities or what type of event they're trying to have? We're happy to share thoughts. Lamar, great to have you on the call. Lamar sharing, I am going to do a movie night with them. Right on. We're going to watch The Mask You Live In. Beautiful. That is so cool. Let us know if you need anything for that, brother. Any printed materials, any mask cards, of course. Anything. We can provide you anything except for maybe the popcorn, but we're here for you. Do you have a sense of the date that you're thinking about for that movie night?
Yeah, actually gonna do it on the 8th. Probably gonna most likely do it during like the afternoon time. And then, after watch the movie, talk about it, and then do the masking activity and stuff. And of course, get them food because I got 5 teenage boys. Like, yeah, they're gonna want food.
Yeah. Excellent. One yeah, Lamar, one idea would be like, in the film when they're about to make the mask, one opportunity would be like to like pause it right then and then have them make theirs and then collect them and then play it again. And we don't know what they were written, but when they reveal the ones from the mask, you'll be like, did any of you write those words? Because then you have a right now instead of like because the mask scene comes at minute 47 into the thing. If you wait to the end, which is it was only like 97 minutes, I think the whole thing is. So it'll be you could wait a half an hour, but you could also like make it interactive, right? So you just right there in that moment, you like wow, like, oh, these young men from Oakland, California are writing the same words we're writing here. And it really begins to like make it, I don't know, it's just an idea. You can do it whatever way it feels good for you. But just if you are going to do the mask, it makes it like, oh man, like this is even more real because I'm like seeing they're talking the same language that I'm talking, Anyway, that's just a
Yeah, I was
wow.
like, that's a good idea. I mean, I didn't think about that.
Thank
But
you for
then again,
doing
I
thank you
haven't. I started watching the documentary, but I haven't watched the whole thing myself yet. So yeah.
thank you for doing that. Thank you. I'm excited to hear how it goes. Well, I just want to say thank you all for being here. I want to make sure if there's any more questions, we don't want to hold you to the time. We'll give you 3 minutes back to your life if you need those 3 minutes back for something. But we're here. You most of you are in touch with Parth. We're in the same office, so however I can support in any way, but thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for how you're going to serve your young men in your community. I think it's we're excited. We're excited to elevate. Hey, what's up, Hola? We're excited to elevate your work in the world. So, whichever, as much or as little as you want us to share, please let us know. As you're preparing. Thank you, Sean. Sean. I think I'm pronouncing it as Sean, right? Sean. Um, Thank you for tagging us because Ro has been tagging back and sharing those. So we want to amplify your work as well. So however we can amplify the work you're doing in your own communities, let us know, and we look forward to sharing out the wins at the end and the conversation. So I'll stop there. Thank you all for being here today. I'll turn it back over to Parth, but I just wanted to appreciate you all from me, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. And
Thank you,
Ola,
Ashanti.
you're with us.
Thank
Ola,
you.
would you like to share a few words there from Africa as you're joining us?
Yeah, thank you, Pat, and thank you, Ashanti. Ever Forward Club has been very inspiring. I've been part of Ever Forward Club now for almost a decade. I've been going to almost 10 years. I've known Ashanti. And we are steering the marks here in Nigeria very well. It's going well. Hopefully by the end of next week, we'll be having another section and planning for our event in November as well. I know Ashanti will definitely join. That's one of the things he does every year when we have our event. So I'm not in doubt. So it's been a great uh, time to work with these marks. I tell you, one of the things that the boys enjoy in the fact that is quite revealing when they can see, oh, we're part of the collectives. I mean, in terms of what we share in common. And secondly, it kind of bring their anxiety down because that's one of the things we have to emphasize about these marks we share with our young men because I notice for them, social anxiety is huge, future anxiety is huge. And when these marks, they can go through it and we kind of weave it into what's like solving the problem of these social and future anxieties, it goes a long way. That's one thing I've noticed in my own way of weaving it into what I discuss with them. And another thing I noticed that I also brought in is the stress bucket, the stress they go through. So how do we help our young men to navigate stress at a young age? Because it's huge among them right now. And having worked with them in different areas and for years. So I've been inspired by all of you also. Thank you so very much. Africa is waiting to receive Ever Forward Club anytime, any day.
Awesome. Thank you, Ola. So good to see you. Well, folks, it's 3 o'clock on the dot, so I believe in letting folks go on time. So, Parth, I'm gonna hand it back to you so you can tell everyone goodbye, but I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you all. I'm so excited. Stay in touch. I think Parth is making one more call available if you need
Thank you.
anything else, but don't hesitate to send an email in between time in the meantime. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for being here. Good to see you all.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you, everyone. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. Have a great week and be well.
Bye, everyone.